Hey guys, Cindy A. Lewis here, and I am bringing you a DIY with some Dollar Tree items. So it's a Dollar Tree DIY for sure. If you ever saw these cute little frames at Dollar Tree, which I'm sure you did, these are little cameras, picture frames, and they're so adorable. And I'm gonna make a hanging frame for my husband for his birthday with some pictures for him for our new house, because I hang pictures of our family all over the place, and this is our new house, so I haven't hung anything up yet, if you can believe that. It's been very busy. So let's get into making this cute picture frame. You'll need 3 picture frames, and these are cameras, but you could use any picture frame you'd like, really. I do not have glass in these, so you might be careful about that. You would need 3 pictures, so I've printed 3 pictures. You would need to decide how you're going to cover them, and I'm covering with paper. So this is scrapbook paper that I had, and I picked this one, and the blue. And so you're going to need 3 sheets that would fit this. So it's not even a 12-inch sheet square. So you would just need maybe even a scrap of paper. Okay, so you'll also need some ribbon. Now I'm going to use burlap ribbon that I already have. I'm always a big supporter of using things you have. So if you have fabric or ribbon, use that. I'm going to use burlap ribbon to attach my frames to it. And then also, I'm going to make a hanger. So I'm going to use a little dowel that's cut about 1 inch larger than my ribbon. And I'm going to use a little piece of twine to hang it up. And then you'll need some glue, some hot glue. I'm going to attach the papers to my frames with my Xyron adhesive, but you can use spray adhesive, and you can also use any kind of wet glue that you have, some tacky glue, any kind that you want. And then I'm going to finish my pictures with some spray Mod Podge. You can use this spray Mod Podge to give a nice shine and seal to it, and I'm going to use this for mine. But you don't have to even seal it if you don't want to, or you could use Mod Podge to adhere your paper and then put a layer of Mod Podge over your paper. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to take out the backing to the picture frame, and you're going to cut out your picture to fit in that frame. If you find out like your picture is not going to fit, then you can print a different picture. But remember the size of the circle, that window right here, you want your picture to fit through like that. So you want to make sure that your picture will fit, and then you'll want to cut those out. Now the picture frame does say the size of the circle is a 2.8 by 2.8. So you'll know what size that would be. Anyway, so let's get started and cut out our paper and make a pattern to cover the cameras, and then cut out our pictures. To cut your picture out, take out your frame backing, and then your picture needs to fit inside the circle. So you would want to put it over the picture and then cut out what you want to show through. So you can see this is, you can't really see it. Let me see if I can zoom in a little. All right, this is my son, Spider-Man, my husband. I think they'll like that. So that's where I want my picture to be. So that's what you want to do. You want to measure all your pictures. So I'm going to take my circle, and I'm going to draw around it, and then you cut inside where you drew. Once you have your 3 pictures cut out, you want to make sure that they actually fit in the circle the way that you want them to, so they'll recess into this little space so that your backing will fit in there just right. So you do want to make sure that that fits, and you cut it out it's easier to cut it out a little bit bigger and then trim it down little bit by little bit rather than to cut too tight to the actual size and then it be too small and you need to reprint a picture. Now the next thing that I want to advise you on, these all look exactly the same, don't they? They look like they're cut exactly the same, but my suggestion is cut out each one's own pattern. Don't just cut one pattern because it could be off just a little bit and you want to make sure that your picture frame fits exactly. So like right now I'm going to cut the purple one. I'm just going to pick one of my colors. I'm going to trim around it like this. Sometimes if you line up your edge, it helps you a little bit. So maybe I'll just do it on this side. Line up my edge, and then I just take my pen and I go around it, and I'm going to cut that out to fit on my the front of my frame. You can see, and then once you get this part cut out, then you can trim your circle out from the inside. So I'm just going to do that now and do that for all three of my cameras. All right, now I've cut out all three pieces for my cameras. I did each one separately. Do remember that when you trim inside the line you drew because that's going to be on the outside. Now the next thing that you want to do is you want to put your camera on top, your frame, and then you're going to want to cut out a circle in the middle. You know, cutting out circles in the middle are a little bit hard, but you do want to get that circle out, and you want to make sure that you're, you're not leaving jagged edges. So just take your time. It's a process, really and truly, to get your circle out. But you can trim it up once you get it on, so it'll work for you. Everyone has different methods of doing things, right? So if you want to use one of these X-Acto knives or cutting blades, you can get 3 for $1 at the Dollar Tree. If you are going to do that, then you want to make sure that it is new or a fresh blade because you don't want jagged edges. So you lock that in place and just take your time going around your circle. And use a cutting mat if you have one, and just cut out the circles along that line. And just take your time. It is a process to get cut things that are in the middle. If you have a circle cutter and it's about 3 inches, that would probably work for you. This is almost 3 inches, but this one is not quite, and I do not have a circle cutter. So you can see though that this is coming out, and you just take your time. Just, don't rush it. Now you can fold it in half if you want to, like this, and then you can cut with scissors right along that edge. So once you get it started, if you do want to do that, you could do it that way too. It's up to you how you want to cut your circle out, but you definitely want to take your time and get it as clean a cut as you can, like that. All right, now I have all my papers ready to go, and it's gonna look so cute. I love the papers that I chose. I feel like they all go together really well, and once I get the pictures in there, I have to decide which ones I'm gonna put in which. It's gonna be really, really cute. You could even decorate these further. You could put initials on them. You could put hearts. Depending on who you're making it for, you can just really embellish it. I'm going to leave it a little bit plain for today, but you could definitely go crazy. Rhinestones, wood embellishments, whatever you would like to do. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put adhesive on mine. Now I'm not using the wet glue or Mod Podge that's wet because I want to make it a little bit faster. So I'm going to run these through my Xyron, and it will put adhesive on the back completely. And I have a, it's like a sticker maker, and it's a Xyron machine. I'll show it to you. So this is my Xyron Creative Station. I open this. This is an entry point for my paper that I need. And then it's going to come out this side. And I trim it off with this paper cutter right here. I'll just do it sideways so that you can see. You put it in with the original facing up, the original side, and it just goes in like that. And then you turn this little knob right here and make sure that it's feeding through. I don't know if any of you have one of these or not, but these are very cool, fun things. So you can see my camera's coming through. I want to make sure I get it all the way out. Try not to use up any adhesive that I don't need to use. And I just do the paper cutter across. And now I have my adhesive on the back of my paper. Now, one thing that you will do, and I'll point that out to you, is that you rub it down really good so that all the edges have the adhesive. And I'm going to do that with all three of my camera page covers. To apply my paper now, you can definitely use any kind of adhesive that you want to. That's entirely up to you. So now I just pull this clear plastic cover off my sticker now. It's a sticker basically, because this is permanent adhesive. And I just pull this off. Now, one thing that I would recommend if you're going to do something like this is to just pull part of it back and then line it up the best you can. And I'm trying to see, actually, because once it's down, it's pretty down, I'm just going to say, when you use the permanent. So now I'm rubbing it on, and if I need to trim it, I'm going to have to trim it a little bit. So now I'm pulling it across my camera. It seems to be fitting just right. And voila. Now I have my, my camera covered. And if I need to trim any, I can definitely do that, just like that little bit right there. And maybe a little bit up here on the top, I'll do that. And there we go. Voila. Perfect. All right, I want to show you all three. This one is without anything around the ring of the camera frame. This one has one twine around it. You could put lace or whatever you want. And this one, I put two around it. So you can kind of see the difference for the different ones. I kind of like that the twine is there to bring out the picture, kind of frame it up a little bit. But I wanted to show you all three in case you didn't like that way. I have decided to go ahead and put some wood veneers on here, just not painted. So this is actually a sticker from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to take the foam piece off the back because I don't want that on there. And I'm going to glue these down. Some of these are just like so awesome, like awesome. And then just an exclamation point or my favorite, like that. And then I love just adding this heart here just as part of the whole thing. And you could just do whatever you want. Thought about adding some more embellishments, but I think this is going to be good. So I'm just going to use a little hot glue. I will tell you, whenever I put the twine around the picture frame, the circle, that you do want to make sure that you don't have glue seeping out. So it does get hot, but just might try to keep your pressure lower as you put your glue on, so it's not so such a big stream. And just put that down easy. So I'm just going to decorate these just a tad, a little bit more, not too much. And then I'm going to show you how to apply them to the ribbon, the burlap ribbon, so that they can hang on the wall. So we're just going to glue this and put it just like that. And I just love how they're turning out. And I just tend, if you've watched me at all, I tend to get more creative as I go. And I have a vision for it, but I don't know if any of you do this as well. But as I start working, I get more inspired and just keep going, you know, like I have a vision for what I want, and then it just like multiplies. All right, so the next thing we want to do is take your ribbon. This is my burlap ribbon. This is wired. It is by Revelry, and it was $3.24 at Tuesday morning sometime back. And you get 10 yards, and it is 2.5 inches wide. Now I want to hang these, so I'm going to take my glue and set it aside for a moment. I want to hang these, and I'm going to use a staple gun, I think, to apply these. And I'm going to hang them like this on my ribbon. And then I'm going to make a little part that flips over like this. And I'm put my dowel rod that I cut through here to make a hanger so that it can hang on the wall. So however, even if you're using different frames, you want to measure that and see how long do you want your tail at the end. Do you want it a couple inches? Are you going to put anything on the end of it? How much space do you want between your pictures or your frames? And then you're going to have a little piece on top, and how are you going to hang it? So you want to think about all those things. So I'm going to cut mine right here, highly technically measuring that. And I already know that I want to put my dowel rod in here, and I want to glue that down. So I am going to glue that, and then I'm going to show you how I attach these with a staple gun. So for my burlap ribbon, I've measured about 2 feet plus 2 inches to turn this over. And I've put glue in here, and I'm going to put a little bit more just to hold down. And I want to be careful because there are holes in burlap. And then I've glued my little dowel rod in there. That's going to be my hanger for my twine. Now, what I like to do is I like to figure out where I want my pictures. And then I like to staple them on, because that way I know that they're going to hold. All right, I've laid out, I flipped it over. I had all my frames right side up, so I flipped them over, you saw them. And now I measured again to see where I want them, each one. And I'm gonna take my staple gun, and I'm going to put a staple at the top and at the bottom. Real easy. If you don't have a staple gun, you can glue it, but I will tell you a staple gun is a great way to go, especially if it's this chipboard or wood. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these. All right, now that these are attached with staples, now these are a little bit heavy, so you do, if you are using glue, you want to make sure it sets really well. Now I'm going to take some twine, and I'm going to make a little hanger up here. I'm going to tie it around here a number of times. I'm going to glue it and then make a little hanger like this. So I'll show you here. I just wrapped my twine around the end here and glued it a few times. I put glue all around here. And now I'm going to take my twine, I'm going to measure where I want it to be here, and then I'm going to start on the inside instead of the outside. Now, I always put the glue on the back so that you really can't see it when it's hanging up. And I know this is kind of tight, but I'm going to show you real quick. Just wrap it around as many times as you want to, and then make sure that you have glue on the back, because you don't want anyone to see that glue. All right, you want to make sure that that's down good, and then trim it. And then you have your fun wall hanging of pictures. I just love it. I'm going to hang it up and let you see. All right, guys, here it is, hanging on the wall. So cute, the mini faces of Kevin. and it's really, really adorable. So I think he's gonna love it. I'm gonna put it in a birthday present for him, and it's really cute. So I hope you enjoyed this craft. I hope that you'll try it out. Be creative, show different ways to do things, try different things, see what you like, see what you don't like, and just enjoy crafting and creating. What a fun thing to do with some pictures. So anyway, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe. I love all my subscribers and I love you all. So have a great, great weekend.